This little device can read the key fob in your pocket, clone it, and replay it in about 30 seconds. It can turn off any TV in the room, unlock some cars, emulate a USB keyboard, and type faster than any human, and it fits in your jeans pocket. It's called the Flipper Zero. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it can actually do, what it can't do, and what the Wi-Fi add-on unlocks on top of all of that. No hype, just real demos on my own hardware. Welcome to the Tinkerer's Lab, where we get into self-hosted tech, security tools, and real hardware. If that sounds like your thing, stick around. All right, let's get into it. The Flipper Zero is an open-source, multi-tool device for security researchers, tinkerers, and people who are just curious about how wireless technology works. It was crowdfunded back in 2020, raised over $4 million, and ships as a fully open platform. The firmware is on GitHub, and the community has built hundreds of third-party apps for it. It runs on a 64 megahertz ARM processor, has its own little screen, a directional pad, and a back button, and packed inside it are 7 different hardware modules. Sub-GHz Radio, 125 kilohertz RFID, NFC infrared, iButton, bad USB, and GPIO pins for hardware expansion. We're going to go through each of those, the ones that are actually useful, with live demos. This is probably the most talked about feature, and for good reason. The Sub-GHz Radio operates in the 300 to 928 megahertz range. That's the same frequency range used by garage door remotes, gate fobs, wireless doorbells, and older car key fobs. What that means is the Flipper can capture those signals, save them, and replay them. Here I'm pointing my own garage remote at the Flipper and hitting read. You can see it captures the raw signal. I can save that, go back later, and replay it. Now, there's an important caveat here. Modern cars and most newer smart home systems use rolling codes. That means every press generates a completely different signal, so capturing and replaying one doesn't work. The Flipper is not a car theft device. The media coverage around that was overblown. What it does work on is fixed code systems, and there are more of those in the wild than you'd think, especially in older infrastructure. The infrared module turns the Flipper into the universal remote you never knew you needed. It ships with a built-in database of IR codes for TVs, projectors, air conditioners, and audio systems. Point it at basically any screen, hit the power button, and it'll cycle through signals until something responds. There it goes. You can also learn new signals from existing remotes, just like a programmable remote, except you can script it and share the codes with anyone. For the home lab crowd, this is genuinely useful. I use mine to control the monitor in my server room without needing to find the remote. RFID is where things get interesting from a security research perspective. The 125 kilohertz RFID module can read and emulate the kind of access cards used in a lot of office buildings, apartment complexes, and car parks. These are the ones you tap to get through a door. Most of these older cards, like HID procs, have no encryption. The Flipper reads them in under a second. It can then emulate that card, effectively acting as a copy. Now, the reason this matters is not to encourage anything dodgy. It's to understand just how insecure a lot of physical access systems still are. If your building uses plain 125 kilohertz cards, anyone with a flipper can potentially clone a card by getting physically close to it. That's worth knowing if you're responsible for a building's security. The NFC module handles the higher frequency 13.56 megahertz cards. Think modern key cards, transit cards, and contactless payment cards. Reading a bank card won't expose usable payment data. There are protections in place for that, but it demonstrates just how much radioactivity is floating around in your wallet at any given time. Bad USB is the feature that made a lot of IT people nervous. And for good reason. When you plug the flipper into a computer via USB, it can identify itself as a keyboard, and a keyboard that a computer trusts completely, which means it can type at machine speed any sequence of keystrokes you've scripted. Here's a simple example. This script opens the GNOME Spotlight search, opens the terminal, and types in a demo message. Took about 2 seconds. You could swap that out for any sequence of commands. The scripts use Ducky Script, a simple language where each line represents a keystroke or a delay. There's a huge library of pre-written payloads the community has shared online. This can also be used as a mouse too. I'll do a dedicated video on bad USB payloads, walking through writing your own from scratch because there's a lot to cover there. I'll link it when it's up. Now, all of that is the stock Flipper Zero with Momentum firmware. No modifications, but there's an official Wi-Fi development board that plugs into the GPIO pins on the back. And this is where things get genuinely powerful. The board runs an ESP32 chip, gives the Flipper full Wi-Fi capability, and unlocks a set of attacks that aren't possible on the base hardware. Things like Evil Portal, a fake captive portal that intercepts credentials, de-auth attacks, packet sniffing. That's the entire focus of next week's video, setting up the Wi-Fi Dev Board from scratch, installing the right firmware, and running Evil Portal on your own network to understand how it works. If you want to catch that one, subscribe. It goes up next week. So, what can a Flipper Zero actually do? It can read and replay fixed code RF remotes, control any IR device, clone older RFID access cards, act as an NFC reader, and execute keyboard scripts on any unlocked computer. What it can't do is steal modern cars, break encryption, or do anything that requires the target to be unaware and uncooperative. Despite what some headlines claim, it's a research tool, and in the right hands, or even just curious ones, it teaches you more about how wireless systems work than any textbook will. Links to everything I used are in the description. If you found this useful, a like helps the channel more than you'd think. See you next week.